Live from FedEx Forum, this is The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people. Yes, welcome to the Odds Couple. What did we got? We got Chapter 5, Week 32.
32
of the program, and it is one of my favorite shows that we do. Not only
it's because it's week 32. It's in honor of Alexander Johnson. Grizzlies great.
That's wow, and great
That's a
AJ
deep
reference.
cut.
My goodness. No, but good guess, Roser.
Yo.
It's first of all, it's not because I'm on an 11-3 heater against the number in college basketball here. Yeah, a little bit.
Well, you're just betting UConn.
Well, that's been part of it. Yeah, sure. Certainly. That's been part of it. Also, good start to baseball.
Yeah.
We're going to have free picks for you coming
Free
up at the end of the
picks.
show.
Big free picks.
But also, it's exciting because WrestleMania 40 is this weekend.
40.
And we are going to break it down with the one and only Dustin Starr.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait to do that. And we'll have picks from
Picks.
the WrestleMania. We got our Final Four that we'll talk about as well, including the National Championship and hypotheticals that could happen for the National Championship. We'll look at those odds as well. And we got some nuggets coming up on the show. So it's a busy odds couple today. I'm Rob Fisher, and here alongside is Lang Whitaker.
Hey,
Hello,
Rob.
Lang. How are you?
I'm great.
Love the shirt.
This is from a couple weeks ago when
Yeah.
WWE SmackDown was in town, and you and I went
That's
to
right.
the SmackDown show and we got to see The Rock in person. It was pretty awesome.
Finally.
But when we saw it, The Rock came out, and his normal thing is finally The Rock has come back to whatever the city is.
Right.
And he came out and he said, finally The Rock has come back home. Yeah, the place went crazy. That was awesome.
It was really cool.
And I was at Memphis was the only city where he truly did something different.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he did not do like these.
Well, the previous, he's a bad guy now. The Rock's a bad guy now.
A heel.
The heel. So he's been going around trashing every city he goes to.
You don't have to talk to me like I don't know this.
So the best one was the week before in Phoenix, where he said he had done the research and found that Phoenix leads the country in crack and meth use.
Yes, right.
And so you cactus-loving crackheads, you got to see The Rock in person.
Right.
But yeah, he said, he actually said when he was here, he's like, look, I normally come out and trash cities. I can't do that.
So he came out and trashed Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
And wasn't it Salt Lake where he said, "You shut your mouth, fatty, or The Rock will come over there and slap the herpes off your lips."
Probably.
Yeah, I think it was Salt Lake City when he did
He's the
that one.
best.
He is the best. He's amazing when he just continues to speak in the third person without ever stumbling.
I was
It's
sitting
incredible.
next to you and Brevin Knight, our friend,
Yeah.
and you guys are sort of new wrestling fans more so.
I've been twice this year. Yeah,
So you guys
went
are like
to Charlotte.
coming around. I've been going to wrestling since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And when The Rock came out, I actually turned to you and Brevin and I was like, guys, there's Michael Jordan, there's Pele,
Right.
there's The Rock with a microphone. He stood in that ring for 20 minutes by himself with a microphone and was incredible. It was
Yeah.
captivating, funny. It was an awesome thing to see
amazing.
in person.
Yeah, it
So-
was cool. John Roser, how are you, man?
Wonderful.
Good. It's
Yeah.
good to see you.
Good to see
You
you.
excited
too,
about
Fish.
the big WrestleMania show?
Yes. Well, we're not going to get to see Saturday. And we're not
Sure
going to
you
get to
will.
see night one. Replay, we will.
Yeah.
We have a game.
We have Marcus Sol retirement
Marcus Sol
night.
retirement
Yeah.
night. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We will have it pulled up, though, on phones and laptops at the radio table. So,
And Saturday night's actually arguably the more interesting card of WrestleMania. We can get into that with Dustin, but Saturday night's when The Rock's going to be involved.
Oh, he'll be
Yeah.
involved Sunday.
He'll be involved Sunday, too.
Yeah,
But,
Sunday.
yeah. Saturday night is the one where he is scheduled to actually wrestle.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is also the easiest thing to figure out. The Rock ain't coming back to lose. That's not The Rock and Roman Reigns are winning that match because they're not coming back to lose.
No, you wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think so.
Uh,
I don't know. We'll talk about it with Dustin.
All right. Anyone alive on their brackets? Anybody?
I have Purdue.
You have Purdue, so you still got
I
something.
did not pick UConn because I thought, when you're in a bracket pool, it's like, okay, where can you zag somewhere,
Yep.
Everybody's going to have UConn. So
I had them losing.
So I decided I had them going out to Auburn in the Sweet 16, and then Auburn lost to Yale, and so that was totally screwed, and UConn looks like the freaking greatest team ever. Yes. So I mean, it just looks so wrong. So I had Purdue.
I have 3 teams of the Final Four.
Really?
Oh, good for you.
Congratulations. Which 3?
UConn,
Yeah.
Purdue, Alabama.
There you go.
I had Alabama as on the Grind City Media thing as my long shot pick, and CJ got mad at me because he was like, you can't pick a 4 seed as your long shot, and then he picked a 5 seed as his long shot. And I'm like, well, what's the difference?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got
and a 4 seed won the national. UConn was a 4 seed last year when they won.
I got Purdue left in my Final Four, but I have them losing to Houston. So,
but
I'm done.
Alabama's a 4 seed, but wouldn't you say they look just, seeds aside, looking into it?
Well, Alabama's they're like the one team in this tournament that you'd say,
if
they do this, they can beat you. So they've done this.
I figured they'll just outscore people, and they'll, maybe they get hot and they make a run. That's what
Are we
they
talking
did.
about them against UConn right now?
Sure, let's go ahead. UConn and Alabama.
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing, that I looked at. I'm like, okay. So I thought the Clemson Alabama game. I thought both teams actually played really well, and Alabama was just a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I looked at it and I'm like, at the end, I'm like, okay. So Alabama shot 44% from 3, and that's like Alabama's supposed to be. If Alabama hits threes, man, they can beat anybody. Okay, they made 44% of their threes, and they beat Clemson by 7. Dude, they're going to have to hit 60% of their threes if they're going to beat UConn.
It's 11.5.
And UConn's not even hitting threes, and they're killing teams. They were like 3 for 17 from 3 against Illinois. They were up 30.
UConn is on a 10-1 against the spread run. Their last 11 games, they've covered 10 of the 11, and a lot of them they've covered easily.
Yeah.
This is a Final Four game against a team that's gotten hot. 11.5.
Yeah.
Pick it, park it.
I would just keep picking UConn.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I feel like Clemson didn't have the guard play that UConn has.
No.
And I think
Clemson's got. UConn has athletes.
Yeah, UConn 1 through 5.
Yeah,
they've got their whole starting 5 could be NBA draft picks coming up. They are stacked. They're well coached. They're experienced. I don't know. I mean, the only thing Alabama's got going for them is you think, well, maybe they get hot. And maybe they make a lot of threes.
Which they've done.
And they like to play with pace. They get up and down. Maybe the over is the play in this one?
9. UConn, surprisingly, although it's because of what they do to the opponent, UConn, 9 of their last 10 have gone under.
Okay, so pick it. You have to bet UConn. You have to. You can't bet because it's one of those. If you bet Alabama, if you bet against UConn and UConn wins 82 to 64, you're going to be like, what the hell? Why did I not? What am I doing? What am I doing betting against them?
Right.
But if you bet UConn and they don't cover the 11.5, it's like, well, I mean, they've been on a 10-1 run against the spread and they're kicking the crap out of everybody. It's not far-fetched that I would pick them, so you don't feel as bad about it.
Right.
So I think
I think you got to pick UConn as well. Here are a couple of interesting nuggets. UConn, a double-digit favorite from the Big East since 2007. A double-digit favorite from the Big East is 31-15 against the spread. How about that? Alabama, they're the number 4 seed. Number 4 seeds are on a 3-6 against the number run. UConn 11.5. If you had to,
UConn.
I would take UConn. If I had
UConn?
to. Yeah.
All right. The other one, we got Purdue, NC State. Another big number, 8.5 for Purdue. NC State continues to just be disrespected. The total 145.5.
So Purdue doesn't really have athletes on the perimeter. They're very sound in what they do. They're very good.
Yeah.
But they don't have great athletes on the perimeter.
They're like Hickory High School.
But I
They
would
play like that.
I'd still pick Purdue.
Huh?
I'd take Purdue. I'd lay the points and take Purdue. I think Purdue and UConn are the 2 best teams in the country, and I think Purdue's way better than NC State. I don't think that Duke team is good. And the only reason Duke got by Houston is because Jamal Shedd got hurt. It's the only reason they got by Houston. And you saw what happened to Duke in that NC State game. Like, that second half, that Houston game wore them out and beat them up. That second half, Duke could not make a shot. They looked tired. Like, I didn't think the Duke team was that good. I think Cinderella runs its course here for the Wolfpack.
Lang?
The thing that scares, I think the under is the play there. The thing that scares me with Purdue is like, do you think Zach Edey's going to shoot 20 free throws again or whatever it was? You know, like the pace of the game, the way they like to play, they're going to slow it down. They have the one thing with Purdue I like watching them is in the half court. They actually run offense. They like run play. They run a cool offense. They run stuff with like double screens and misdirections, and they can get easy buckets. But nothing's really fast with them. And I feel like 9's a lot. It scares me. I would just take the under in that one.
I'm going Purdue. NC State 7-0 against the spread. Their last 7 is a dog. ACC teams as a double-digit seed are on a run of 19-8-2 against the spread since 2012. So that's a good run there. So both good numbers for NC State. Roser, it kind of comes back to what you said for me. I've thought there have been 3 great teams in college basketball this year, and they distanced themselves from everybody else. UConn, Houston, and Purdue. And obviously Houston has been bounced, but I think the other 2 are still clearly better. I think it comes to an end, too. I've been on the right side with NC State here recently. Yeah. And it scares me because they've been good to me as an underdog here.
But it's got to end eventually.
This is when it ends.
I mean, if it's going to end, it's going to end against a 7'8" center that TJ Burns can't shove around anymore, right?
Right.
That's my guess.
Yeah. Well, let's check out the. We got a graphic of hypothetical.
I love hypotheticals.
The hypothetical championships. The one I guess we would pick would be Purdue and UConn. UConn would be a 5.5-point favorite.
That's such a matchup with Klingon and Edey.
Yeah.
Like, that's a great matchup, Klingon and Edey.
How about UConn, NC State, 15.5?
Yeah.
Jeez. Purdue and Alabama, 5.5. Alabama, NC State, 4.5. So the other 3, they look like good matchups, but UConn and Purdue is obviously the marquee matchup, and that'd be a 5.5 UConn favored over Purdue.
NC State winning would be the best story. Like, it's insane, improbable. Like, I think Purdue also winning would be great because you do the same thing Virginia did. Virginia lost to a 16. They came back the next season and they won. Purdue's looking to do that too.
Purdue losing would be a pretty interesting story too, though. Like, just that they're like almost again.
Yeah. But they got to the Final Four. That's been the thing. They've been bounced early so many times. It's like, well, they did get there now. It feels like UConn's to win. I mean, they do. They look so much better than everybody. Like, they're up like 25 and they're still running offense that's like...
I mean, to me, they're running everybody to the point where UConn-Purdue, if that's the matchup on Monday night and it's 5.5, I mean, this UConn team right now, 5.5, that is just not enough for me.
No, I'm on it.
Yeah. No, it would honestly, what it would kind of remind me of is, you remember the Gonzaga-Baylor win from a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Like, Gonzaga was favored, though. But you knew early watching that game when it tipped off, it's like, oh, Gonzaga is in a world of ish right here because Baylor has dogs and they are so much more athletic than Gonzaga, and it shows. And I think you'd probably run into that with UConn, Purdue. UConn just so much more athletic.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. Looking forward to it this weekend for sure. The women's bracket. I'm doing well on my women's bracket. In fact,
me too.
If Iowa wins the thing, I win the women's bracket.
Oh, there you go.
But if South Carolina wins the thing, then...
South Carolina's probably winning.
Probably.
The undefeated team, if they win.
But see, I zagged, Roser.
This is what's amazing, is I did not watch a single women's college basketball game all season. In fact, I have watched one women's college basketball game this season, and it was Iowa-LSU the other night. And I did way better picking the women's bracket than I did the men. I got South Carolina, Iowa, and UConn right.
Very nice.
And the other one, I picked a long shot. I picked Maryland.
Well, the problem is we grew up watching college basketball. So, like, when we take Duke, we're thinking of Christian Laettner and, Johnny Dawkins. We're thinking, like, the old school Duke teams. not these bums they got out there now.
The key in the past, like maybe 5 to 10 years ago, the key to filling out a women's bracket was just take the better seed.
Or just take Gino Auriemma.
And take Gino
basically
Auriemma all the
you-
way.
Summit.
Right.
UConn and Tennessee forever.
And it was and it was
Tara
coaches
Vanderveer.
too. I mean, but you
just
went
the
high
coaches
seed.
you knew were good.
Yeah.
But the last 5 years, that has really changed.
No.
Where you've had worse seeds that have won games. A lot of those games. But this year reverted back to the old days, and it was pretty chalky.
I mean, I'm dead
early.
serious. That's why I picked UConn. I was like, UConn's a 3 seed, but like Gino's still there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And Devin's like, Gino Auriemma's still there. I was like, and their best players that the Beckers, right? And he was like, yeah. I was like, she's awesome, right? He's like, Devin's like, yeah, she's awesome. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna pick UConn to go.
You
to the
can just
Final Four.
take the best players now. All these teams have one stud player, pretty much. I mean, even South Carolina, maybe they don't really have that one tough player. They have a lot of very good players, but
they're just awesome.
Yeah, like with Iowa, with UConn, with
South Carolina's doing what UConn's been doing, and they're just mauling
I actually watched
teams.
I watched the South Carolina LSU game a couple weeks ago when the fight broke out at the end of that game, and like South Carolina just has so many different ways they can beat you, and they can beat you inside and the outside. They have the guard Pow, who's like a great shooter. Like they have a good kind of like diverse lineup and way to play. Iowa, I was thinking about Iowa like Roser, you said you haven't watched the game all year until the Iowa LSU game the other night. Like I said this on one of the other Grind City Media subsidiaries earlier this week. It feels like Caitlin Clark now is like Tiger on a Sunday. Like it's like appointment viewing. Like you have to watch her play because you don't know what she's going to do, but you kind of know like she's not going to shrink from the moment. And she's going to do something awesome that you don't really expect to happen at some point.
The women's game has, like you mentioned, you typically can't, like lately, the last couple of years, you haven't just been able to go with, all right, here's a better seed, and we're just going to move them on. And that's kind of how it played out. Like 20 years ago, that's how it just always played out. The women's game and the competition in it has gotten so much better. The parity it's so much better. The game has grown a ton. And Caitlin Clark she is absolutely a megastar. It's Curry. It is watching Curry when you watch her at the women's level. When you see where she shoots from, her step back moves, like it is.
But her ability to it reminds me of Kobe, like her ability to score, but also to like facilitate.
Yeah.
Like she's so good at like slowing down, waiting for double teams, her teammates are great at like cutting, looking for the ball. Like she's so good at like finding people that are open on the court.
They're women.
It's just fun to watch her play.
Yeah, they're amazing, and that'll be a fun. They screwed up. I wish it was Iowa and LSU in the Final Four, but Iowa UConn's going to be a great matchup. And then on the other side you have South Carolina and NC State. Go figure.
How about that?
How about that? NC State. So South Carolina, go ahead and put them in the finals, and then Iowa UConn. They still have Gino. So, but
I had no idea he was still coaching. I'm like, my God, he's still going.
The Caitlin Clark phenomenon is unbelievable, and hopefully for my bracket, at least, it continues all the way to a championship. All right, let's take a break here on The Odds Couple. When we come back, we're going to talk WrestleMania 40.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Dustin Starr is going to join us here on the program as well. That's all coming up next here on Grind City Media.
Justin Timberlake. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
We're going to give you our opinions on the winners and losers of this year's 2024 NBA trade deadline. I've got 2 winners and a loser. What do you have?
For a winner, I'd go with, I think, Boston. I like them getting Xavier Tillman. You got a loser?
I have a loser.
Who is it?
I think all of us. Lost this because it was kind of just boring. IMHO with Lang Whitaker and me, Kelsey Wright Johnson, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Real country music with Cody Johnson live Saturday, April 13th at FedEx Forum. Country's best. The Leather Tour with Cody Johnson. With special guest Justin Moore. Also featuring Drake Milligan. VIP and reserve seats on sale at Ticketmaster.com in the FedEx Forum box office. Cody Johnson.
Don't Worry, Be Fluffy World Tour.
The minute you get into a brand new relationship, like magic, you know who really notices just how happy you are, guys? Other women, not your woman. Look how happy he is. I bet I can change that.
Friday, May 10th, FedEx Forum. Get your tickets now at fluffyguy.com. Don't miss a Memphis Don't Worry, Be Fluffy World Tour.
Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everyone. It is The Odds Couple. It is week 32 of Chapter 5 of this program. We are happy that you are with us. Coming up later in the show, we got some fish nuggets. We got some free picks.
Free
Make sure you
picks.
get some free picks, by the way, everybody. We got free picks, and yeah, we're going to do that coming up. Also, special, we're going to share with you the futures of the UFL because the Showboats got a win in week 1. So we want to
God,
see
who gives a crap?
we want to see where the Showboats have moved.
No, we don't.
We don't? Okay,
No, we
well,
don't.
Actually, you know where they moved?
where?
They all live in Texas.
They live in Texas, yeah.
They just fly here and play the games on the weekends.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Camp is in Texas, and their home games are here in Memphis. So go Showboats. But it's a special week. It's one of my favorite weeks of the year. It is WrestleMania 40, which is a big deal because it's number 40, and it's a huge deal because The Rock is coming back. And because it's such a huge deal, we had to bring in Dustin Starr to join us. Hello, sir!
Oh, yeah!
Yay! Dustin
Man!
Starr
Happy
joins us.
WrestleMania week, everybody.
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one super duper fired up.
No.
Dude,
no,
love
we're
to
all
hear it.
ready.
We are fired up.
I
We're
see
all
the
ready to
Rock
go.
T-shirt. You're
Yeah.
fired up.
We
I
are.
talked to Roser.
I'm ready to go.
Dustin, I
every
went to
game,
two.
so-
I went
He's
to
been
two
to-
events.
He's been to two
Oh,
cards.
so
I went two
to-
cards. I went to two cards. I went in Charlotte.
Okay.
And then I went to the one here as well.
Both sold out, I think.
Both sold out, yeah.
Yes,
And it was fantastic.
Man, SmackDown at FedEx Forum was so exciting, especially when you walked in. Everybody was saying, "Is The Rock going to start the show out?"
Yeah.
I think we even had a conversation about it. Do you think The Rock's going to start the show? And as soon as we peeked through the curtain and you see the setup, you knew The Rock was singing. So
it was funny because I ended up going with one of the Grizz Gaming guys, and we thought that just walking in, we thought, The Rock's going to finish it, right? Like it's
Right.
TV, all that. So we get there 20 minutes before the broadcast starts, and I'm like, let's get in line and get our shirts because they'll sell out. It's a long line. We're standing there in line. I buy my shirt right at 7 o'clock or whatever it was. And we start walking around to our seats, and we hear the glass break sound effect, and we're like, "Oh no, it's now! It's The Rock!" So everybody in the hallway just starts sprinting, for the different seats to get to your seat in time, and we made it in time to see The Rock.
It was awesome. It was a
WrestleMania
great-
40, you said it's huge because it's 40, but if you think about it, not only is The Rock back, and you've got all these superstars, but this is the first WrestleMania ever without a McMahon.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
the McMahons no longer own WWE. It's the first WrestleMania under Endeavor and TKO. And I think we're already starting to see a little bit of the flavor change with the blood and some of the cussing and stuff like that because WWE was always worried about the sponsors and the sponsorship money and the kids and all that.
That went out the window pretty quick.
But man, UFC is doing just fine with all the
Yeah.
same sponsorship money and stuff. So I don't know that they're as concerned about it as when they were in the McMahon era and that Monday Night Raw where The Rock left Cody laying in
Mama
blood.
Rhodes.
Mama Rhodes.
Mama Rhodes.
It is confirmed Mama Rhodes will be at WrestleMania, just so you all know.
Well,
No,
did you
I
guys-
hope The
did you guys
Rock
see
slaps
The Rock-
her.
Did you see? Did you see The Rock this week on
Yes.
Raw? Yeah. With
the after the cameras were off.
yeah, with the
stuff with the
whipping
belt.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think with the blood and the cursing, like it hasn't been everybody. Like The Rock is allowed to. He gets away. The Rock's got a longer leash here.
That's a good point.
He can do what.
supposedly there's some beef
Yeah.
with the other wrestlers.
Well, there's always going to be beef with the other wrestlers because he makes so much more money than all the other wrestlers. I mean, that's just like sports. You know, if one player's getting paid more than the next when it's contract negotiation time, maybe they can get it back. But really, there's going to be a lot of animosity towards The Rock because he's the biggest superstar there.
Since
That's
he's
just
come back,
competitiveness.
since he's come back, they've had he's shown up. They have had the highest grossing SmackDown and the highest grossing Monday Night Raw, like live crowds that they've ever had. That since he's come back, they've had that.
It's like 11 or 12 consecutive television sellouts now.
Yeah.
And then you think about all this. Okay, so also WrestleMania 40, during that beatdown, in the background, you see the trailer.
Yeah.
That has now all these trailers have WrestleMania on there. They have Charlotte Flair, all these different characters.
I was telling Fisher about this.
Yeah, but this one, and WWE doesn't do stuff on accident.
Yeah.
So you've got Stone Cold Steve Austin and John Cena on the trailer in the background, literally watching The Rock beat the snot out of Cody.
Yeah.
So it makes you think, like, how will these guys play into WrestleMania? Because it's going to be the biggest one yet. You've got The Rock. Now you've got Stone Cold Steve Austin being rumored. Hulk Hogan, I think, is going to make an appearance. There's a lot of celebrities, and then, of course, John Cena. I know John Cena has got to make an appearance.
This all makes...
I love it. Cena's my favorite. Roman and Cena are my faves.
Roser's going to have his jorts on. This all makes me feel so old because I remember watching WrestleMania 3, which was King Kong Bundy, Hulk Hogan, I believe.
3 was Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah, that's when he lit
Silverdome.
that giant
Yeah.
up in front of the 93,000 at the Silverdome.
Yeah.
So for me, it was Toronto Sky Dome. 93,000 fans for the Ultimate Challenge. It's title versus title, the Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan. That was it. My dad said, you know what's going to happen. Hogan's going to Hulk up, and he's going to win. No, not this time, not this time. So WrestleMania 6, while I did grow up watching Memphis wrestling, that's why I wanted to be a wrestler. WrestleMania 6, Hogan versus Warrior, that sealed the deal. That was it. Two good guys wrestling, like that was unheard of back then, especially at WrestleMania. And the fans had to pick.
Night 1 or night 2? What's the higher anticipated?
Well, night 1 is The Rock.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so he's headlining in the tag team match. So
he'll be a part of night 2.
He's got it.
He has to.
I feel like The Rock has to win on night 1, so that way there's more shenanigans on night 2.
Right.
Cody's not going one-on-one with Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? They're going to have bloodline rules, and they're going to stack the deck against him. Maybe that's when we see like an Austin and a John Cena come out and fight the bloodline off or whatever, and this big triumphant victory. But I think The Rock has to win first, and then go on to night 2. And I think what you could do, like stemming from that, of course, you could have Rock versus Cody.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to have Rock versus Roman at some point, maybe even next year's WrestleMania. So there's a lot coming out of these main events. Plus Seth Rollins having to defend the championship on night 2 against Drew McIntyre. And I don't know about you guys, but Drew McIntyre is doing some of the best work he's ever done.
On social media. So
especially with CM Punk.
This is something I have noticed with the TKO and Endeavor stuff. This is something I have noticed that was not going on as much during Vince. They're wrestlers, they're superstar wrestlers using social media.
Oh, yeah.
Really using it to talk trash and really try to promote and talk this stuff up. They were not really, I don't remember wrestlers really using it for that, but Drew McIntyre has been hysterical on social media.
The promo with him and CM Punk, where Punk was trying to get him to say Vince McMahon's name on television, which you can't do, by the way. That's a no-no. You can't say Vince's name on WWE programming anymore. But just the promo back and forth of him trying to get him to say it. And then I think CM Punk is kind of waiting in the wings after Mania when he's cleared from his triceps to probably go after Drew. But to answer your question, I think most people are going to be interested in night 1 just because we know The Rock is going to wrestle.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think he'll be a part of night 2 in that championship match.
If you're watching night 1, it's
huge.
not like you're not going to watch night 2. I mean,
It's just hard for us because we've got the game Saturday night.
Marcus all night. Hey, I'm trying to think. Should I suit up for that?
absolutely.
Like, I mean, this is a rare thing, right? We had it for Zebo, now we're having it for Mark. I know we're sidetracked here, but maybe I suit up or something.
I was actually thinking about breaking out one of my Mark jerseys.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna suit up.
I'm gonna wear the jersey under the jacket.
Well, you always suit up. Man.
yeah,
you always
It's
suit
kind
up.
of
I'm t-shirt and jeans at the Grizz game.
So the Roman Reigns and The Rock against Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns and The Rock are minus 700 to win. Rollins and Rhodes plus 400. So an overwhelming favorite for Roman Reigns and The Rock. It's got to end that way, right?
The Rock has to win?
Yeah, I think The Rock has to win, and Roman's going to lose in night 2. That's my prediction. So I think he has to win.
Cody's going to finish the story.
Cody's going to finish the story.
Oh my gosh. All right, night 1. What else are you looking forward to?
Let me pull up the card to see what the official night 1 is.
The Usos
Here,
are
I'll give you
supposed to
some of
fight
the,
each other.
I have the hot take of I think Roman should win.
let's see, WrestleMania.
I don't
We
care
got,
about. I don't care about Cody's story.
Ripley
I do
and
not
Lynch
care.
in the Women's World Championship.
That one is going to be very, very good. Becky Lynch is a bona fide superstar, and
Yes.
she's going to square off against Rhea Ripley, who is like the most popular female wrestler.
They've been going at it this week
I
too.
mean,
On, like,
She's the most
interviews and
popular
stuff.
since Charlotte, right?
Yeah, she's extremely. She reminds me more of like a China.
Yeah.
You know,
Rhea
but Charlotte
Ripley.
Charlotte is injured, so she won't be there.
Well, I mean,
unless she's gonna make
popularity wise,
Yes.
she is like Charlotte is a mega star.
I
And
saw Rhea
is
Ripley here
too.
at Minglewood Hall when NXT came
Oh,
4
okay.
or 5 years ago, and we were in the front row, and she was awesome back then. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh my god,
She's
gonna be
great.
incredible.
Just type Rhea Ripley's name into Twitter X, and just see what comes up. She's. That's all I gotta say. She's super popular right
She
now.
has fans. She has fans.
She's a big favorite, minus 500. Becky Lynch at plus 300. Then we have the 6-woman tag team match. Damage Control at plus 700 against Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. They're at minus 2,000. Overwhelming. Huge favorite.
Jade
Yeah.
Cargill's like a huge favorite now.
Huge star. I mean, I'm telling you, Bianca Belair just being in this match and standing side by side with Naomi and Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is making her WWE in-ring debut in a match at WrestleMania.
Wow.
That is freaking huge. So I would imagine that they have some big plans for Jade Cargill. Right now, they've got Jade on the same side as Bianca Belair and Naomi. I don't know how long that'll
That's gotta
last. 'Cause
turn.
we want to see them square off against each other. But
Yeah.
seeing them tag up is pretty cool, too.
All right, then you have to explain this. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee against Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio.
Family feud that's been lasting, what, a couple years now, Lang?
Yeah.
I feel like the story here, though, is that Dragon Lee is tag teaming with Rey Mysterio instead of Carlito. So I think that's going to upset Carlito. So we might see Carlito spit an apple in somebody's face real soon. So that's a SmackDown story that's been going on for quite a while. And Rey Mysterio and Dominic, once again, father-son, wrestling at WrestleMania.
The other cool one that night is the Gunther Sami Zayn
Yes.
match for the
Gunther,
Intercontinental.
this one's the closest one as far as
Yeah.
odds
Okay.
are concerned. Gunther at minus 150, Sami Zayn at plus 110.
It's just Gunther's had the title for so long now that you think, well, they got it at some point.
Yeah, the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history. Now, Sami Zayn is that underdog-like character, and they're even playing it up real big on TV.
People love him.
Can the underdog? Last year, he won the tag team titles from the Bloodline in a main event at WrestleMania. This year, he's got an Intercontinental Championship match. Back-to-back awesome years for Sami Zayn, but he's like the underdog. Can the underdog knock off the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion ever? I think this morning, or it'll drop tomorrow on Grind City Wrestling, but me, Devin, and Eric are kind of split on it. Like, we can see that underdog winning and taking the title off of him, but then also Gunther, that's a
Gunther's
bad dude,
awesome.
man. I could totally see him winning and continuing it.
Then
Fish, you'll get this.
Yep.
Gunther, he reminds me of Matt Harpering.
Okay.
Just so you know.
He will chop your
I
nipple
see
off.
that.
It's a pretty good
I
lookalike.
see that.
Yeah.
He beats dudes up for real.
Night 2, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. McIntyre minus 600, Rollins plus 350. So McIntyre the big favorite here.
Maybe the beatdown that The Rock and Roman Reigns deliver on Seth Rollins and Cody carries over to the next night, helping Drew win, painting the picture that just maybe Cody's in the same spot. And he's not healthy. But then Cody, of course, would overcome the odds. I do think Drew McIntyre, he won the title at WrestleMania the pandemic year. The fans were not there to see it. It was kind of an awesome, epic moment for him, but without fans. So I think this is his opportunity to get that moment in front of some fans.
All right, here's one you have to explain to me. Logan Paul, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. They're all fighting at the same time?
Yeah, triple threat. Makes me feel like that it's easy for Logan to retain here because he doesn't even have to be, you know, Orton could hit an RKO on Kevin or vice versa, the stunner or whatever. I just think Logan will kind of sleaze his way through this one. and
Logan
keep
Paul
it.
minus 450 favorite. Owens plus 400, Orton plus 425.
Three of the best. I mean, Logan Paul is really good.
Yeah,
and he's
he
really
is.
good at that social media stuff that you're
Yeah,
talking
oh,
about.
yeah.
It's almost like seamless.
Yes.
I kind of didn't want him to be as good as he is.
I know, right?
You know, I kind of was hoping he'd come over and just not
What's
be.
his brother thinking? His brother needs to come tag with him.
Yeah.
What's he getting in the ring with Mike Tyson for?
Logan Paul's awesome.
He's really good.
Was it last year at WrestleMania? He did the thing with Ricochet where they like collided. Was it
SummerSlam or maybe something. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was an epic moment. But, you know, he's in shape. He can talk. He's already successful outside of WWE, and I'm pretty sure that there will be a big Prime logo in the center of the ring at WrestleMania this year.
Oh,
pretty tight.
Joe Randy Orton.
For the women's world championship match, Bailey against Io Sky. Bailey's a huge favorite.
I think Bailey.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I've seen Bailey twice.
Yeah,
about
she's
that?
good.
Bailey was on the bad side, and then she turned. Now she's on the good side. I feel like they need a little star power with that championship belt.
Yeah.
Bailey, I think, is going to get that one.
And then we got Cody Rhodes, minus 425 favorite against Roman Reigns, plus 265. Despite the fact that Roman Reigns has been the champion for how long?
1,200. Is it 1,299 days or so?
Something like that.
Oh my God!
It's a long time.
The tribal chief.
The tribal chief.
Now,
How is he an underdog here?
because he should have lost last year,
yeah,
But he didn't.
but he didn't. So that makes me think: is it possible that Roman Reigns beats Cody Rhodes again at WrestleMania?
I think Roman
Yes.
Reigns wins.
Yeah, Roman
I mean,
Reigns.
think so?
I think Roman should win. I think he should win.
I don't think it's possible because I think if it happens, man, fans almost
Oh,
revolted last
man.
year, and then once The Rock came back, people revolted again. And if he loses this thing again, like
It is
people
a
are going to just be like, done
It
with
is
this.
a fan win. It does remind me of, because I was there in New Orleans for 30, which was I heard Cody Rhodes say that this is basically a fan-built WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like it basically is, because the original plan was The Rock and Roman, and the fans were like, hell no.
I'm glad
And
you
they changed
mentioned
it.
that.
And I was there for WrestleMania 30, and they did not, Vince McMahon, they were not going to have Daniel Bryan headline that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fans were livid. He's the biggest thing going, and the fans were pissed, and they turned it into a thing, and Daniel Bryan ended up winning the title at WrestleMania 30.
I think
and
Roser's right on
that
this.
it's Roman should win, but Cody's going to win because
Roman's
it's,
won alive. He's had his
it's
time.
going to be, dude, just give these people what they want.
I think there was an audible
And we'll take the
made.
belt off Cody at SummerSlam.
I
Yeah.
do
And
think there was
beat
an
him over
audible
the head
made.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when Cody stepped up and said that he was going to go for the title, but not at WrestleMania, I think that WWE thought that the fans would love that because The Rock would get that match. But WWE had done such a good job at pushing Cody for the entire year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's on every graphic. He's action figures. He's all over the place. He's on the trailers. He is the face of WWE. So even though they really do want to see The Rock come back, they wanted to see Cody.
Yeah.
You've told us how great this guy is for a whole year. And so I think they did have to pivot, include The Rock in a
Yeah.
different capacity, and then maybe build for Rock and Roman next year. But I do think that there was an audible call, very similar to that Daniel Bryan,
Yeah.
where they were not going to have Daniel Bryan in that main event.
No.
Like, Vince did not like small guys.
No, Vince is that's the thing. You cannot be
That was it.
small.
Yeah. And so the fans shifted that, and I think that the fans shifted it again this year with Cody.
Yeah, Vince McMahon, if you go look at the history of like who has held that championship, like Vince does not let that would be the problem. Like if MJF ever came over to WWE, which
Yeah.
there are rumors he's going to randomly show up this
Right.
weekend. But like if he ever did, like if Vince was in charge, that guy's not going to be world champion. He's
Right.
too small.
But that's why Drew McIntyre was like one of the next big guys because
Yeah.
Vince loved, he's a giant dude.
Yep.
He loves those giants.
Now, something we haven't mentioned here, and it could happen because the clock is running out on this Money in the Bank.
Oh.
Damian Priest has the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah.
He has to cash it in before the next Money in the Bank. And is Money in the Bank, what, in a couple months? It's coming up.
I don't know.
It's
Look.
coming if we put it in the Google machine. It is coming up. So he has to cash it in, whether successfully or not. What if Priest comes in here and steals the thing?
Last year's Money in the Bank was July 1st, so it's probably
A couple
July
months.
6th.
Yeah.
It's a month before SummerSlam.
So something's going to happen pretty soon with Money in the Bank. And usually it means that there's a new champion.
Yeah.
Usually Damian Priest would win the title there. I think there's only been one or two with the Money in the Bank that cashed it in and didn't get it.
What would you? Is there a surprise you think like that's in your head of this would be great if this happened this weekend?
Some of the rumors of the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
I was there in Orlando. It was kind of weird. I had wrestled Matt Hardy at, what was this, WrestleMania 33 maybe? 32 or 33 in Orlando. But a couple weeks before that, I had wrestled. Me and Maria wrestled Matt Hardy. And we had the conversation that he doesn't know what he's going to do. His contract just ended, yada, yada, yada. So we're there. I actually watched the video in my time hop the other day. It was crazy. But we all went nuts when the Hardy Boys music played because we felt like our buddy now is up there. And so my son was like, text him. So I texted him a congratulations, and he replied. So my son thought like I was super cool at that point. But there was an interview with Chris Van Vliet. Matt Hardy's contract, Jeff Hardy's contract are coming up at AEW. Could lightning strike twice? Because there is a ladder match, and I think there's 6 other tag teams involved in it, so it would be easy just to plug and play, and then sell some Hardy Boys merch and have them back. So that's a rumor of the Hardy Boys.
You didn't mention the LA Knight AJ Styles match, and I kind of feel like this might be an
LA
AJ.
Knight big favorite.
I kind of think this might be an AJ. It might be a chance for some.
Plus 350 on AJ.
Yeah, a little action on AJ.
All right, a little plus money.
People
there.
love LA Knight.
Yes, LA Knight. LA Knight was actually on our championship wrestling show previous to it flipping to be Memphis Wrestling. So I've followed him quite a while. Actually, commentated some of his matches, and anywhere that they put him, he always did really good. But then WWE almost didn't want him to do good.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but they kind of didn't want. They had him in some weird character, and then all of a sudden they changed it, and now he's one of the biggest stars that they have.
Wow. All right, we're going to take a break. Can you stick around? Because I want your 3 best picks for WrestleMania.
Okay.
You got a commercial break to think of it. Yeah.
For WrestleMania.
Okay.
And then we got some nuggets.
And
we got free picks.
Picks.
Coming up here on The Odds Couple on Grind City Media.
Gasol with 4 seconds for the win. Yes!
Mark is one of the more competitive people you'll meet.
He ain't losing. Their willingness to go out and try to compete every day, not just wait for a game, not wait for a regular season game, not wait for a playoff game, but every day is what made Mark special.
He was a big part of that identity, right? And a big part of that's why the team was so successful, because they had that anchor in him.
Grizzlies, to this day, wouldn't be the Grizzlies without the contribution of Marc Gasol.
10 feet ahead and you catch me, it's something you'll never do. I turn around and I level you. No motivation is needed. Look, I put myself on the pedestal. This is incredible.
Take your fandom to the next level with the official Grizzlies app. Go all access and behind the scenes.
It's got to be heavy defense. That's where it starts for us.
Personalized to where you are and who you are. Get easy access to ticketing, the game day guide, and your own app customization right at your fingertips. Upgrade your experience and download the Grizzlies app today.
Nate Bargatze, the Be Funny Tour.
I mean, Chuck E. Cheese is rough. I don't know if you've been there in a while. They look like they're trying to go to business and they can't.
All new material.
They filed for bankruptcy and they're still open. They called Blockbuster and they're like, how do you get out? We want out.
Nate Bargatze, Friday, May 31st, FedEx Forum. Tickets available at FedEx Forum box office or Ticketmaster.com. Produced by Outback Presents, Nate Bargatze, the Be Funny Tour.
We were without internet from 11 in the morning until what ended up being around 8 o'clock at night. I'd be the first to go in an apocalypse. I just would not even know what to do. Chris is over here like, who needs internet anyway? Let's just be one with the land. And I'm like frantic. I'm like, I can't do anything.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Welcome back to The Odds Couple on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back, everybody, to The Odds Couple. Glad you're with us. WrestleMania 40 this weekend, the Final Four this weekend. We talked about that a little bit earlier and gave our picks on that. We got some free picks coming up here in moments.
Picks.
But first, how about some nuggets?
Nugs.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the last 11 NCAA tournaments, the underdogs are 24-19 against the spread in the Final Four. This does not bode well for our picks earlier.
No.
Each of the past 13 tournaments have had at least one team seeded number 4 or worse reach the Final Four. We have 4 and 11 this year. How about that for a little nug? There has not been a repeat champion since Florida in the 2007. Since then, no defending champion has advanced past the Sweet 16 until UConn. And they're looking to become the first repeat champion since Florida. And only, this is amazing, only twice in the last 23 years did the championship winning team not cover the spread. So pick who you think's going to win. Go ahead and Whatever the spread, take them.
Just bet UConn.
Take UConn. Absolutely. All right. Roser, you want the UFL update, or should we wait till next week?
No, we want it.
I don't
we want
care.
it. No, we want it.
said he
Lane
wanted
wants
it.
it. Let's check it out. Check the tote board after the team won last week. The Showboats won. They went down on the futures.
Why?
They're now plus 850.
People saw AJ McCarron play.
I guess. Third from last, for the Memphis Showboats at plus 850. So, we'll keep you posted on that as the season goes along. All right. It's time for some free picks before we get out of here. Lang, do you have some free picks for us today?
Yeah, tonight, actually.
Okay.
The NIT Championship.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys have been watching. I've been paying a lot of attention because my Georgia Bulldogs made the Final Four of the NIT and lost.
That's right.
To Seton Hall. Seton Hall is playing Indiana State tonight. Indiana State, of course, features Robbie Avila, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a.k.a. Larry Nerd, a.k.a. Milk Chamberlain.
Milk Chamberlain's my favorite.
But he's fun to watch. But it's like a 2-point line. Seton Hall, I believe, is favored by 2. It's kind of gone around 2.5.
Indiana State's favored by 3.
By 3.
Yeah.
I'm taking the under.
The under?
Under is 160.
Okay.
I'm going to take the under here. I don't feel like they're going to score 100. And each team's going to go 80 plus. So
all right.
I'm going under on the NIT championship tonight.
Under in the NIT championship.
It's your free pick.
All right. Roser?
Yeah, okay. We're going to parlay.
Let's do it.
Actually, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to do one bet. We're going to go to the College Diamond. We're going to take Arkansas minus the 2.5 against
Diamond.
Ole Miss. College baseball. Let's do something different.
Arkansas minus 2.5
taking the Hogs.
against
They're
Ole
upset
Miss.
about losing Musselman. They're going to take it all out on the Diamond against the Rebels from Ole Miss, and then they're going to take their basketball coach too. Go Hogs. Pig Suey.
I got to play on the NIT tonight. I'm going Seton Hall. I'm going with the dog plus the 3 tonight. In baseball, I got one dog, and its game starts in about 20 minutes. So get it in. I'm taking the Marlins over the Cardinals today in St. Louis. Marlins get their first victory of the season.
Against the Cardinals again?
Betting against the Cardinals.
You don't like the Cardinals, do you?
It's opening day. Opening
favorite
day. A
team.
lot of festivities, a lot of distractions, a lot of weird things happening. So I'm going to go with the Marlins. They're due 0-7 to start the season, and they're a heavy dog in that game. And then I'm parlaying Pittsburgh and Minnesota tonight. That's really my big play of the day. Minnesota's the big play, but I'm going to parlay them with Pittsburgh because Minnesota's minus 150, Pittsburgh minus 135. So put those together, it's plus 183. Take that.
So you're taking Minnesota?
Minnesota,
All right.
yeah. All right, Dustin, what do we got for WrestleMania?
All right, so if you're looking for somewhere to watch WrestleMania, you can watch WrestleMania Night 1 at Dave & Buster's. That's Saturday with the Memphis Heritage Champion, the Master of Fat Jitsu, K. Toomer will be there.
K. Toomer.
He's going to be hooking you up with power cards.
Fat Jitsu. That feels like something I could do.
Yeah, why not? Look him up. He's pretty cool. And then on Sunday, I'll be there with power cards watching WrestleMania.
Awesome.
So I've got some locks for you. Seth freaking Rollins will lose the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. That is a lock.
All right.
Bayley will become the new WWE Women's Champion over Io Sky.
That's a lock too.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and say Cody Rhodes will finish the story. He will defeat Roman Reigns. He will become the WWE Undisputed Universal Galaxy Heavyweight Champion, whatever you're calling it now.
Yeah.
He will be the champ at the end. There's 3 locks right there.
Awesome.
I feel like Cody's going to win too.
Yeah.
He's got to.
He better.
It's been so
Come
long.
on, Roman.
He better.
Yeah,
Cody's
come
kind
on.
of a
I
loser.
love Roman's like my favorite. Him and Cena are my favorites, but Cody, I love Cody too, man.
I feel like when somebody says John Cena's name, you have to then do
Dustin, what's happening in Memphis Wrestling, man?
Man, we are absolutely loaded. It's awesome. Go to memphiswrestling.tv. We're leading up to April 21st at the Wrestle Center, 3296 Winbrook Drive. Buff Bagwell is returning to Memphis Wrestling. And if you haven't seen his Dark Side of the Ring episode, it dropped just a couple of weeks back.
It's awesome.
It is fantastic. I mean, as much as I know about Buff, I had no idea that he tried to kill his dad.
Yeah.
Like, there's stories that I had no idea. The place is probably about 85% sold out already, so we'll definitely sell every seat in the house. So come out and check out Buff Bagwell, meet him, memphiswrestling.tv. Also, we're at the Arkansas Travelers baseball game on 420. We've got the Memphis Redbirds coming up in June. We're going to be at Lafayette's in May. We've got Bump and Grind wrestling there. It's a little bit more of an adult-themed wrestling. I think he smashed a beer bottle over somebody's head at the last one.
Who was the cocaine guy? Who was the cocaine guy?
There was a cocaine guy.
What was his name?
His name was Drugs Bunny.
Drugs Bunny. Drugs Bunny was amazing. Drugs Bunny had a bag of fake drugs. And then he would just go insane and start beating the crap out of it. I love Drugs Bunny.
That's not a Memphis wrestling. That's a whole different. It's a whole different thing. So we can get a little crazy on that. But the lineup's at MemphisWrestling.tv. We got Beer City Bruiser, James Ellsworth, Brooklyn Brawler is coming in May. We got a member of the Bloodline that we're working with coming, Zilla Fatu. He's related to Roman and the Usos and all that. So. The man just got a lot going on with Memphis Wrestling.
Well, man, thank you for coming in today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome to see you. Awesome having you. Thanks.
Oh yeah. Give it to me, Roser.
Oh yeah.
That's going to do it for this edition of The Odds Couple. We will be back with... When are we back?
Next week, right? The Masters.
Next week, Masters.
Masters next week? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Masters next week. That's when we'll be back here on the program.
I'll be here in studio 24 hours after leaving Augusta National.
We'll have a live update from, not live, but we'll have an update from Augusta. Yeah, that's awesome. So we'll do that next week. So join us next week here on The Odds Couple for Roser, for Lang, and for Dustin. I'm Fish. We'll talk to you next week.
Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Tune in next time with Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.